This is another in the first read series where I look at a poem that I don't know, have never seen before by a poet I don't know or know very little about, and just do a first reading for the sheer joy of poetry in general, without the theory, without explaining it with the entire person's work there, which might make me rethink the piece completely once it fits into context. I think when I first approach something, I don't get that privilege, so I start with it. So just for the sheer joy, this is it. This is from the journal Control V. It's just controlvjournal.com, which is an awesome little design experience. Honestly, if you visit it and play around on the page, it's just cool to see the art and the poetry and the words all blending together, and the page itself is a piece of art. That said, I will leave it and just look at this one piece by Nora Claire Miller, who I don't know at all. And I just picked this piece randomly. So this one, yes, it's called Yes, Yes. I look at form usually before I start with any poem. So I look at this one and I'm like, well, okay, so this itself is an art piece that's really playing around with the placement of text on the page. Definitely not a traditional piece. There's even a whole section where it looks like two sections of text are placed on top of each other, so it's very difficult to read. I don't know if everything connects. There's definitely some play going on with language itself, like I can see without even having read this piece. There's the word elevator on its own and a whole list of looks like punctuation here. That all looks like a play on the what an elevator does, right? I'm not sure if there's an order for reading this, so I'll just start, I think, at the top and kind of work my way down. I don't know if these are a whole bunch of different pieces. They're connected, how they work. So yes, that's the first line. Also seems to play with the yes, yes at the bottom of the page. All right, yes. Not sure what the yes is to yet. But then we get this all caps. You can cause anything to happen upon any part of the room. Is the poem the room is my first question. Am I looking at a room? And as a reader, can I cause anything to happen? Can I cause any interpretation based on how I connect things across the page? Does it matter, basically, what I connect and what I don't connect? Maybe the process of making things happen in the room is more significant than what's going on. I don't know yet because I've only read one line. With a simple press of a button. Well, I don't have any buttons to press here, so maybe that first reading is off. Let it be so. But that's capped. Because any part of the room of a button, let it be so. That's capped, right? So let it be so. Let anything happen based on the button pressing. I don't know. That feels like being in the computer world a little bit here, that we're so used to these days, pressing a button and feeling like something can happen. Whistling with an acorn. That's got a colon there, which is a little odd as an introduction here. I enter the room and take a pivotal sip of whiskey. So there's the room. This I, whoever this is entering the room, and takes a pivotal sip of whiskey. So pressing a button could be actually just coming into this room, like this space itself, by pressing a button like a key for the writer is going to make something happen. This, my friends, is now murder investigation, which is like a fun play. It seems like almost a dramatic line that somebody would say, and set the whiskey down, put on my monocle, and get to work. It's almost the stereotype of what murder mystery should look like. My actual goal, this is a pyramid scheme. I set the operation in motion and then I wait for it to fail. It's hard to say in that case. What's the pyramid scheme? The mystery, the murder investigation, that's going to fall apart, or the actual writing. They're putting it together, putting it forward, but it's actually a pyramid scheme. It's not meant to work in some kind of traditional worldly way. And then there's a space, so I'm not sure how to read these. The next thing is in a box. Light bulbs, carrots, paper clips. Did I say carrots? I'm not sure. Carrots, paper clips, small pieces of paper upon which is written that thing that you always intended to say. Like this little box looks like a small thing of paper where it's meant to say, and the light bulb feels like it's playing around with this like effect you have in Photoshop where you cast the light a certain way. It feels like it's definitely playing around with that, creating the illusion of a thing written down on paper. If you are a rectangle, you probably have no other options. Well, I'm not sure what to say about that one. This piece itself doesn't look quite rectangular. Well, maybe it is. I was going to say it was square-like in the beginning, but maybe it's rectangular. You have no other options. But what? I don't know what the first options were. Were they you can make anything happen by putting something into it, pushing a button as it is, like the reader's interpretive buttons, you can press those, or is this something more? And all throughout this is this giant yes that's overwritten in the middle of the page. Yes what? Yes you can create anything you need to. Yes you can interpret this. Yes you can try to read this. I'm not really quite sure. Okay, imagine you're going to talk to someone I don't know how to go into this next section. Picture yourself inching closer to a photograph of a starfish. It is you both, stairs back, no, your house you walk to, fling the soft body off the cliff and into the dreaded foam below. Those are like a play on a murder mystery here, but you're not really sure because it's embedded in this, which is kind of, how the murder mystery works, trying to figure out what happened, what is being said, what the text is saying. It's hard to know whether this is like the box above where there's something, that you always intended to say it, but it's overwritten, so we can't really see it that well. You intended to say it, but you didn't. Not really sure. So I don't know. This is one of those kind of poems I think I would like to read more of this poet's work. I feel like this is a play on the interpretive process itself and how you can shift it or change it or put it in one direction with just some slight little tweaks. But I'm not sure. I might rethink that based on other things. I think it's very interesting as a visual piece. I'm drawn to it right away to interpret it because it is visually different than what I expect in a poem traditionally. Interesting. Definitely need to check out more of this writer's work.